Hello,
Hello.
hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're back. I know it's been a little over a week, but we are here. It's just me and Garnett tonight. Garnett, are you there?
I am here.
I'm like amazed with all this stuff. Okay, I'm looking at it. Let me go to comments. Okay. Um, so last week we were going over a little bit of the searches. Um, Today we want to go over some people that we would like to know if they've been looked into or that we think they should be looked into, like just really suspicious people. There's a lot of them, so we can't go over every single one, but we will post links on our Facebook group so you could check that out. Um, Garnett, do you want to, where do we leave off?
We left off pretty much at they were searching for Kyron on the 4th. Um, it went clear in, and as we know, we're still searching for him today. So, you know,
Yeah,
those searches were some of the largest, right? And
yeah,
so, you know, the searches, and like I said, they still continue today. We do know that at some point, um, there was supposedly a murder for hire plot against Kane, which pretty much ended Terry and his marriage. You know, and still today, there's never been any proof publicly that that
yeah.
was anything. Um, she actually, they tried to set her up, and when this guy showed up at her house, she didn't know what he was talking about, and she called the police. So,
Exactly.
you know, uh, whether
I
there was really,
I find it so weird how supposedly there's like two or three more of these against her, and she's never been charged for one. It's like, come on, people. Like,
well, the only other one that I've ever heard of, and I would love for somebody to show me a link for the third and fourth one that's supposedly out there.
yeah,
The only other one that I ever heard of supposedly happened when she was 19, but
yeah,
the guy didn't come out and say anything about it until well after the one with Kane come out. Like there was never, I've never seen where there was anything filed against her. If you look up her criminal history, there was nothing there at that time. Like she was not
exactly.
charged with anything at 19. They apparently didn't have any evidence that that there was anything going on. So I mean, and I've not even seen a news article other than him coming out after Kane's murder for hire. And people will inject themselves into cases like this just because they want that 15 minutes of fame. In this case, I do believe we've seen that happen a few times. I believe that Dee Dee, her ex, had injected himself and
Yeah,
really got bit by it. Like
yeah.
he completely erased all his social media and everything. So,
And we can't even find him. We've heard that maybe he passed away, and somebody said from suicide, but we can't even confirm that. It's like he disappeared. Um, I do find it crazy what people will do to just, have their little 15 minutes of fame, be on the news. We have someone that we're going to talk about actually that didn't come out until I think what, 6 months or like 6 weeks after to turn in a tip. We'll talk
right.
about that when we get there. But um it's crazy. I don't understand. It's like if you know something, like say something at that time. If not, then I don't believe any of it.
If somebody was trying to get somebody to kill me,
Yeah.
I would have definitely reported that back when we were 19. I wouldn't have waited till we were 40
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
say, hey, you know what? She tried to kill me too. That's what?
Right. I don't. And then him showing up at her house, and so he showed up at her house, and he was wired. The police sent him there to try to get,
They actually had a policeman with him, an undercover detective with him, hoping to get this all on tape, which, like I said, she called the police. So,
Yeah.
and she has said that she didn't know anything about any of this. And then after that happened, um, she then went into sort of seclusion because her entire family's now been ripped away.
Yeah, imagine getting your whole life just taken from you. Everything's falling apart. So you have a friend that is willing to be there for you. I would want somebody to be there for me if I just lost everything for no
Now, let me
reason.
say this because I know there's going to be haters that are going to be like, yeah, see, it's all about Terry. No, it isn't about Terry. But
No.
Kyron's gone, and she lost him as well as
Hmm.
Desiree lost him, Kane lost him, everybody, James lost him, Quinn lost him, everybody lost Kyron. But
Hmm.
everybody else still had a family, where Terry's was completely ripped away.
Exactly. And for her to have a friend come out and help her, I mean, like we said in the last video, I think we spoke about it briefly. We would do the same thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So she goes and stays with her. Because Kane moves out, doesn't he file for a protection order
Yep.
first? And then he files for divorce.
Yep.
They go to court, and the judge tries to use what was going on with Kyron, or the lawyer tried to use it in
Yep.
court to keep custody away from her and I guess it didn't work. Well,
It did work. I mean, it's working still today, because obviously, she's not been allowed to fulfill any of her, she anything that she does just seems to not matter, especially in the eyes of the public. I mean, there's not much you can do at this point.
well, she did do everything she was supposed to
Yeah,
do,
but
and
obviously she's still not got any visitation, no phone calls, none of
I
that.
think
Everybody can say what they want to say, but I truly believe that the only person that hurt was the baby, because
exactly.
you know Terry's not a suspect. In the public she is, but
Mm-hmm.
according to the police and anybody else, she's not a suspect.
Mm-mm.
So, this child's lost her mother. So the only person I feel that really hurt was her not having any contact. Because I don't think
Mm-hmm.
you want to know who you are. You want to know where you came from.
Yeah, I mean, I bet when she turns 18, or when she's old enough, she's gonna search her up, and she's gonna want to speak to her. Um, I mean, I grew up without my dad, and I always searched for him, even though I heard all this horrible stuff about him. I mean, that was still my dad,
Right, because
and I
he's
feel,
part of you, regardless of what anybody else thinks or says. This is
Exactly.
still part of me.
Mm-hmm. Um, Tammy said it's crazy because convicted felons in jail get to see their children. I don't
Absolutely.
know. I don't know. I just don't understand how Kane got away, with doing this or why. Because right now he doesn't really speak out. He doesn't speak out anymore. And it's like, is that because he regrets only focusing on her? Like maybe he's having some kind of thoughts, like, okay. But then again, it's like, no, because if he was thinking that, then he would probably let her speak to Kitty at least. I don't know what's going on there, but he definitely did get away with a lot of stuff. I feel even with DY, you know,
Yes, yes, absolutely.
when they got divorced, and I don't know. I just find that whole situation just crazy.
It is very weird. It's very strange that, you know, but I also understand to a point why Terry has to be so sealed. You know, if you had an army of people trying to pin something on you,
Mm-hmm.
the lawyer has no choice but to keep you as quiet as possible because anything, I don't care what you say, it's going to be turned to look bad about you.
Yeah,
I mean, you
that's
can say, I went to the bathroom, and they're going to say, well, that's what she did with him. It,
right.
that's the way they're going to work it.
Exactly. It's so crazy. Um.
Hold on just a minute, Mike. I got to mute my mic. So go ahead. I am listening.
Oh, okay. So, well, I was just gonna speak on So after when Dee Dee moves in, she buys some burner phones, and everybody. TJ said also he is married and with her one day and never speaks to her again. Mind boggling. I know. When they went to court, like the media said that they didn't even look at each other. Like Kane would not look at her at all. I find that very weird. You're together with somebody that long. This person raises your child like her own, and you don't look at her. You just leave and pack up everything. And
And you don't ever question, this murder for hire that backfired
hmm
on the police. You never question that. Um,
yeah,
you
I
just walk
mean,
away like it was nothing, and that's quite confusing in itself. I agree there.
yeah. What happened? I mean, it just got dropped. Like, did his lawyers tell him probably not to speak about it, or I don't even understand. Did they go to court? They did, right?
Yeah, the divorce has been final.
No, I
It was
mean not that. The murder for
the
hire.
murder for hire. I would
Yeah.
love to know, you know,
Oh,
um,
he didn't speak. I forgot. Remember, Sanchez, Estrada, whatever he goes by now.
right? He
Um,
made some funky statements to the grand jury,
yeah.
but even at that, if they had all this suspicion on a murder for hire,
Mhm.
I just still can't believe that they wouldn't have been able to dig up enough to at least haul her in and question her further on that.
Yeah.
So that whole thing to me just sounds like it was just an attempt to get her back into the station and talking.
I feel like
And
it was definitely a setup, and I feel, with
absolutely,
all the steroid thing that went on, um, I feel like that played a big part. Like people were trying to get back at her.
yes, because
Um,
he said that she was involved in a big sting that went down just months before
mhm.
Kyron went missing with a bunch of the bodybuilders, and Like,
Yeah, we have
and I
that
can get
article.
articles on that also. We definitely have
Mhm.
articles that link to all of that and show how close that actually was to Kyron going missing. And I'm not
Exactly.
saying that would have anything to do with him going missing, but I
No,
am
but they
saying,
definitely have a reason to want
I was
to
going to say,
hurt
yes,
this
that
woman.
would definitely give the police, because there were
Mhm.
people involved in all of that,
Yep.
reason to, oh, we get to get her now.
Mhm. Like,
And
here's our
during
payback.
that tunnel vision, we're going to do it's her and we're getting her. That
Yeah.
tunnel vision has worked so well in this case.
Yeah, and Tony, when his little police friends, you just told me about this and I totally forgot. Um, I mean, even they came out and
Right,
were
right. You
trying
know,
to.
they're there to support him and Desiree, but can you imagine how that felt to Terry? Because not only does she have the police, the sheriff's office,
Mhm.
ganging against her, now she's got Desiree and Tony and police friends of Tony that's
Yeah.
there. I can't imagine how outnumbered she must have felt.
Mm-mm. Me neither. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know how that's allowed. It's like they were there to, what's that word?
Intimidate.
Yeah, like to intimidate her, or I mean, I don't understand why were they
Well,
there.
like I said, they were there because they were supporting Tony and Desiree. And that is what it is. But once again, it depends on what you're wearing when you're doing that supporting. And I don't know the details to that. It wasn't that's information I got from the book. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm guaranteeing you, a lot of police, even off duty, will still
Mhm.
carry their guns with them constantly. And I'm sorry, but
Exactly.
a gun is kind of intimidating to me. I'm definitely that person. I've never really done anything wrong in my entire life. I have
Mhm.
officers that, because of my grandson,
Mhm.
stop and just talk to me quite frequently because, that's sort of the relationship.
Yeah.
Um, but even when they show up, and I consider this officer a friend, he's got his
Mhm.
gun on. He's very intimidating to me, and he knows that. We've talked about it.
Mhm. Yeah, it can be. And I feel like that was wrong. So I'm sorry, I'm eating. I'm always eating. This time I'm not touching my hair, at least, you guys. I'm I'm eating food instead. Um, so Dee goes and buys burner phones, which isn't weird. People say it's weird
Wait, wait,
because
wait, wait, because if we're going to talk about the burner phones, let's talk about the burner phones. Now, I have heard so many places, and they want you to believe so much that these
mhm.
burner phones were bought before this happened. And no, they were not. They weren't bought until the middle of June when Dee Dee was with her.
Yeah.
That Dee Dee and her had not spoken, according to Dee Dee. I don't know that Terry has ever spoken out about it, but according to Dee Dee, in her interview with Blink on Crime, her and
Mhm.
Karen hadn't talked since her birthday party.
Wait, hold on. I thought she bought the burner phones while she was living with her.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But before
Oh.
that, before the fact, the people will say that those burner phones were bought before Kyron went missing and they were involved in this crime. And that's definitely not the case. Those
Oh
burner
yeah.
phones,
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, they were bought when Dee Dee was there, and I feel like they have a right because why are people even listening into the conversations? I mean, Imagine having all these people stalking you, trying to get the so-called evidence, and you're just talking about your personal life, like what you're going through, because you're
Like
going through a
your
lot right
emotions.
now.
I could not imagine somebody listening into mine and your personal conversations when
Exactly.
we're talking about our kids and we're talking about our personal love lives and stuff. That's nobody's business. You know, you share
Exactly.
that with people you want to.
Exactly. So there's nothing wrong with buying burner phones. I mean, I'm sure she still had her regular phone, but didn't we just find out? Did we talk about whose name they were under?
Well, the burner phones were all. I believe that there were three friends that went. I believe it was Terry, it was Dee Dee, and then there's another mysterious friend that had went with them. Um, and bought those phones. I think you're moving on to the next step, which was where Michael Cook
Okay, I
was.
need to, yeah. See,
Yeah,
I'm talking about phones, so I'm like, okay, wait. But
nope,
yeah.
you're on to Michael Cook.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of injected himself into this once again. You know,
Yeah.
I
Another
was,
setup.
yep, I was just reading an article where he's bringing food to Terry, the family, he says.
Mm-hmm.
I read the article, like he had to work his way through all the media to get to him. So he sort of injected himself into that situation.
Hey,
And
Sarah.
then
Oh, go ahead.
and then he's going to um after injecting himself into this situation, he's going to involve some conversation privately between him and Terry.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a great friend of Kane's. I know any of my man's friends, if even if I was in a time of need and I
Mm-hmm.
started sending messages that they didn't want to receive, they would have went straight to my husband and said, "Hey, what's going on here?" Especially if they knew that there was trouble in paradise to begin with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I've said since the beginning, Sarah said, I'll have to rewatch. LOL. I'm like, we're only like 20 minutes in, but we're glad you're here. You and TJ always show up for us. We appreciate the support.
Absolutely
Um,
love it when you ladies come in and interact with us, help us out.
yes. So I've always said from the beginning, I don't know, it sounds right to me, but on Dr. Phil, she said that it was um something that Kane knew about and it was to get back at him or something like that. But I felt like it was a setup. Like in my mind, the first thing that popped in it was like, okay, maybe Kane and him are writing each other back and forth to make Terry look bad. Like it's another setup thing, you know? But
Well,
then
I
it
do
came.
think you might be onto something with the setup thing, but I think
Mhm.
it was more of Kane going to Mike and saying, "Hey, Mike, you know what? If you could just work your way in there to Terry and get on her good side, maybe she'll tell you something."
Oh, you
Um,
shared the Slims page. I appreciate it, girl.
so that's sort of where I think the setup part comes from, is
Yeah.
that Kane told him, "Hey, just get real chummy with her." I also
Hmm.
have a really hard time, like if you, and I don't know how many of those messages you've read, and I haven't reread them in many many years, but when they first come out, they were everywhere. But the messages always seemed sort of incomplete to me. Like I always had a question of, did they purposely leave out some of the interaction between Terry and him? Because Terry was awfully giving, if she wasn't receiving any bad thing back from.
Exactly. And how did it all start? Like, I
Right.
mean,
Well,
I would think that he would have had to been the one to start something.
well, in either way, it doesn't show. So who
Exactly.
knows? And why doesn't it show? You'd think.
No, Sarah, don't leave us.
Is she leaving us?
Yes. Well, we appreciate your support. Hey, my new Facebook is legit. I don't think you accepted my friend request. You're gonna make me cry. But we appreciate you sharing it. And I haven't heard from Slim in a while. I hope she's okay. But thank you, girl.
But on to Michael Cook. I do think that if they were trying to prove that, Terry was this horrible, terrible person, if she had started all this sexting stuff, I do believe that they would have shown where she started it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if she just come out and was like, "Hey, Mike, I want you," and all laid out on the bed and ready for him, they would have plastered that everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I find that, I don't know. All this situation is just so crazy. I feel like they were just all trying to gang up on her, trying to get her caught up in anything they could.
Because that was the game. That's the game to play. Let's put as much pressure as we can on you. Let's divide you from your family and just throwing balls until something sticks. And the issue is that in 12 years they haven't gotten anything to stick. And for the beginning of this, Terry wasn't lawyered up. It wasn't like Terry just ran out and grabbed a lawyer right away. So
no,
Terry
she could have, but she didn't think that she had a reason to because she's innocent. So and she was speaking out in the beginning.
She wanted to help. She wanted to tell the police everything they wanted to know. They didn't like what she was saying, so they continue to go after her.
I remember she did this one interview for People's Magazine, and DY was like, she, and it's in a link too. She was like, oh, she only went on People Magazine to get paid, and then People Magazine came back and was like, we didn't pay her for that.
Right. That's so much of the misinformation, which we are going to do a video on misinformation, and this is a video that I have been begging for. Now that we have explained who Kyron is and why we are still looking for him, I am so excited about the misinformation.
Me too. And now we know we're getting the hang of where we can try to fit stuff on here so you guys could see what we're looking at as well. We'll be able to post like the links, and then we'll be able to discuss how it's, not true or whatever.
How there's a statement made, and how there's an article that says something completely different. If you go back 12 years, then you'll see that the very first articles were completely wrong. And you'll see as the years go by how they go in and they re-edit and they re-edit and they re-edit, or the article completely goes missing, or that's because there's so much of this misinformation, and we've used it against Terry for so long.
Yeah, so we will be going over that. I feel like that's going to be a long episode.
I think it will.
Yeah, but that's okay. Okay. So they get the burner phones. Dee Dee, something happens. She moves out. Right? She leaves.
Yeah, because Kane got the house back.
Okay. And then the lawyers tell both of them, like, hey, you cannot speak to each other anymore.
Right.
So they don't speak. And Isn't when was it? Are we at the part yet where Desiree tries to sue her?
That's all gonna come here. There's a slew of court action. There's the divorce. There's several stages of that. Desiree does file a lawsuit. Um, there's a court thing where Terry also tries to change her name. That comes later. There's also
That crazy
the
lady
grand
went
jury.
there.
Yeah,
That crazy lady went there and tried to
there
get
was
it
there
get it
was a
stopped.
group of them. Like, I don't understand at all, not at all, why that should have ever been allowed and how that is not stalking, but whatever. And then the grand jury stuff also before, I think, even Desiree's case or the name change case, there was the grand juries, and there's been several grand juries.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just one grand jury that looked at this and they've never looked at it again, but I know of at least two or three that
Mm-hmm.
looked at it. So, it's not like we just have one group of people that say, oh, you don't have enough evidence. No, we've got a few group of people that say, hey, you've just not got enough to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're not proving to me that this woman should even be brought in for official questioning, like that you just don't have it.
And that's why there should be more
That's
people looked
why,
at.
yep. That's why the last part of this is going to be looking at people that, there's so many suspects. In any other case, they'll tell you everybody's a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, everybody screams there's only two suspects. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
I can give you a list, and we're going to give you a small list of ones that we can say, hey, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very small list and not complete at all. There were 400 people in that school, and that's people that they knew were in that school that day.
Mm-hmm.
There was no sign-in sheet. There were no locked doors. There were no safety features in place at all.
Oh, there are people that knew the family. There were people that played soccer with them. There was coaches. There was a lot of people of the family, so that are suspicious. Just everybody, neighbors, the people that went to church across the street. Somebody could have been watching him and watching, just preparing for the day that they could get away with this. So it could have been anyone. It really could have. But we do have a lot of people, but we're not going through them all. But we
And
will.
we're not going to be like naming people either,
Yeah.
because I'm sure the detectives have names, and I really, really hope that they have. I know we've turned in some tips of people that we really felt needed to be looked at.
We've
So
turned in tips that people gave us, and some of these names we're gonna go over as well. And we're hoping, that Ellie is gonna look into them. I definitely think that everybody should be.
So,
Let's
start with one of the most famous ones that I really feel should have been looked at.
The boogeyman.
Well, the boogeyman, yes, definitely a very nasty, nasty man. He was what, 50 years old?
Mm-hmm.
He was convicted. He did stuff back in 1992.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got released and was in the area, correct?
Mm-hmm. He got released into a halfway house, and he kept getting kicked out of it. So his parole officer called them and was like, I need you to let him live here. He needs a place to live in order to be out on parole. And they said no. So he ran. But he was still in that area because there were still children getting attacked by this man. You can go on because we knew it was him because of the blood, the injecting stuff.
And like I said, we will post links to this. If we miss something or somebody has a question, always welcome to ask. We can definitely find what we have found.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely one that should be looked at. And then there is David Durham.
Well, I do want to say, okay, so that dude first lived in Roseburg. He used to, he just went to jail in 2013. He attacked a child and stabbed him in a 10-year-old in a Wendy's bathroom. And he molested him, and he got only 30 years. So now he is in prison, but he was out in 2010. That was during the time he was on the run, and he was taking needles. He has AIDS, and he would put his blood into kids, like trying to give them, the disease. So this guy is very, very, very dangerous, and I really think he needs to be looked at. But okay, so next one
is David Durham. He lived on, and I never say it right.
What?
The island.
Save Island.
Okay, so he lived there, and I guess from all I can find is like 6 months before. Now he was this incident happened in January of 2011, where he ends up shooting a police officer at a normal traffic stop. Like, they weren't after him, and there was nothing that he should have been nervous about. It was a routine traffic stop. And he shoots the police officer a few times. I don't remember exactly how many times. But the police officer ends up in critical care, and he does survive. But he, beforehand, about 6 months, they said, and this was verified by a friend and his brother, they said that he had been acting strange. Now, if you go back 6 months from January 2011, where are you at? You're at June of 2010.
Yeah, so he could have.
If he did something in June of 2010 to make him paranoid and start acting strange, then he got pulled over for a traffic stop. In his mind, he may think he's got no other option but to kill this policeman.
And there was a tip about him. So it was a truck driver heading toward Portland on Highway 26 on June 5th afternoon. He said a dirty gray black truck turned in front of him onto Salembury Drive. Inside, there was a boy who appeared startled and looked like Kyron. So this guy turned in that tip, and it was the same kind of pickup truck that David drove. So that to me right there is really, really suspicious. And the thing is, they can't find him anymore. So maybe that's why Kyron's not found. And
they did a whole lot of searches, and everybody will say, oh my God, they were looking because Terry's phone pinged on there. But they did do a lot of searches over there. But nothing was ever, they know for a fact that the truck did not cross on DeSavi Island that day. They know that. There were cameras. So for them to continue to search that island, definitely makes me to wonder why they felt that that was such a big thing, especially knowing that a lot of the searches did take place in
And
and
he
around
was
that
seen.
January time.
He was seen at the convenience store near the school as well. We'll have to find that article because I read it a while ago, and that's what brought his name to us a long time ago.
Once
So,
again, we're not going to go like we could talk about these suspects or these people for hours, but we're
mhm.
not going to do that. We want to keep moving and give you a list. Um, please check all this stuff out for yourself. We have tons of people that are always saying, we're lying, we're lying, we're telling lies. You know what? I don't have any reason to lie. All I want to do is bring Kyron home. Check this stuff out for yourself. Open your eyes and look. There, it's all there.
It's called news articles. It's called Google searching. Do your own research, people. It's not hard. Um, I want to talk about my dude, not my dude, but the number one on my list. So, well, not really, but okay. So I'm not going to say his name, but he was a parent of two students at Skyline. Him and his wife were on the list the day that Kyron disappeared. They were at the science fair. He only stayed half the day, and the wife stayed the rest of the half. The rest of the day. So he left, and they went to talk to him, but he refused to talk to the police. So I'm gonna go in there and look right now. Sorry, y'all. Okay, babe, I'm doing a video. I'll be right there, okay? I'm not kicking him out the room, y'all. I was very nice. Very um okay, so where where was I?
You were at
Okay.
the
So yeah, he refused to speak to the police. The wife spoke to the police, but this man said that he was cooking for some recital. He taught piano. So he was too busy to speak to the police because he was making hot dogs or something. So we got that tip, and this isn't the first. Okay, the person that gave us this tip, um, this person tried. The guy I'm talking about tried to do this. Tried to lure the guy that gave us the tip into his car one time. So that's why it was brought up because and he has songs that he writes where you can look him up on YouTube. He sings about kidnapping little girls, little boys. He has the weirdest writings about just killing, about kidnapping. And why would the police try to investigate? Why would you not talk to them? Why did you refuse? And at the time, why did the police just, let him go without investigating more? So I definitely think this person needs to be looked at. And we did turn in that tip, and I'm hoping that they do something. Very suspicious. You
He
show
was
up at a
very
science
suspicious.
fair.
And if you watch the videos, they are very, very scary. Even if he did nothing,
Oh yeah.
it's definitely not somebody that I would want around my child.
Mm-mm. Not at all. Not at
Okay,
all.
so we also have we've got the landscaper that worked at the house that then come out with the murder for hire. Um,
Mm-hmm.
his wife went back to Mexico right there in the
Yep.
same time frame. And that makes
Can I
him.
say something?
Yeah.
Why are all these people going to Mexico? Why?
It's the same reason that there's all kinds of landscapers and groundskeepers and
Are they all going, like, working on us together? And, like, I feel like they're trafficking. Like, they all go to Mexico. And they're not even, all I know is the landscaper is Mexican. But I don't know. I find it really weird.
it is weird. It is weird because then we have the groundskeeper that
Mm.
he changed his story, correct?
And yes, and he came out, it's like 6 weeks later, was it? It was a while after, to
Yeah.
report what he saw. And his story changed. First of all, the weather for those 2 weeks, it was raining, the area was flooded, and we have an article showing, um proving what we're saying. Everything, a lot of stuff was flooded. It was raining. The weather was horrible. So how is this man mowing down this hill where it was flooded? And then his story changes. He ends up saying something else. He ends up saying he didn't even see Terry's car. Then he says he ends up leaving at 8:45. He has a white truck. I
Which has
have
always left me with that question. Did the witnesses that seen the white truck get that mixed up? That's always going to be a question in my head.
Yeah, because we really don't know what
Was that
color.
a red herring the whole way around? Did the police follow that? And it be incorrect the entire time? That's always going to be a question on my mind.
And the groundskeeper, he had access to everywhere. You know, they had a basement, they had a shed where they kept, all their stuff to use for mowing, whatever. Um, it would have been so easy for him to just grab a child, hide him somewhere, and wait until the time was right.
Absolutely. And then
Mm-hmm.
there was the janitor.
Yeah.
He
We
was
looked him up, and we found the most disturbing. I couldn't even read it all. There was hundreds. Um, sorry, you guys. I'm so hungry. um, the most disturbing children's.
pornographic.
Yeah, it was children's porn, but like in writings, like so weird. We'll have to post them because we want you guys
I'm
to see.
really not excited about posting that. Um, I don't even know how to do it, but it's
I mean, I
really,
have the
really awesome.
screenshot, but it's really graphic. But it shows you guys what kind of person worked at the school.
I just,
Again, he has access to the basement. Could he have brought Kyron down there?
and then
I don't
taking him
know.
out whenever the opportunity arrived. He had all day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing is, we know Kyron didn't show up for his class, and we
Mm-hmm.
know that Terry saw him at 8:45 before she left the school.
Yep.
But other than that, we really have no proof of where Kyron was. We have witnesses that'll say that they seen him at the school around 9 o'clock, which would be,
Mm-hmm.
impossible for Terry to be at Fred Meyer's at 9:12. We have, Desiree says she's got witnesses that will say that they seen Terry leave with him. So the witnesses sort of outweigh each other because I definitely know House has said that he has several witnesses that will put Kyron at school after Terry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you got to go with whatever you're going to go with there, I guess. I tend to believe a lawyer who wants to continue a very successful career would never lie to a court just because it just wouldn't bid well for his career.
Well, no, he said he subpoenaed these people. So
right, and that's what I'm saying. But he did say that they were going to testify that they seen Kyron.
Mm-hmm.
And he would never. I can't imagine any lawyer worth his weight in salt, that would ever say that to a judge and not be able to fulfill that.
Exactly.
Versus a book that we didn't do much research or bother to even speak to anybody but one side.
Yeah, that book is ridiculous. Okay, I want to speak about, on the last episode, or no, 2 episodes, I interviewed Harry Oakes.
Yes.
And he has his own, what is it called? SARS. Yeah. So even though he wasn't allowed, the family didn't want his help. He brought his dogs, to the outside of the property, of Kane's property. They also have neighbors right there. Everything's a little spread out. But the neighbors are not that far. And he walked, it was like towards the middle of Kane's property and the neighbors. He found a cult symbol.
Yeah, like
and
that
so,
scar.
Mm-hmm. And so somebody last week brought it up to us. Hey, the neighbors are satanic, like into satanic stuff. And so we look it up, and this whole family filled with like 4 brothers, or 3. No, 4. They're all a little whatever. And they all have a background with drugs. They have backgrounds of what was that one we found having to do with a person? I can't remember.
I'm not making the connection, and we're not wanting to say names, so.
No, we're not saying no, but the charges. It's they all have charges that have to do with injuring a person or something. So, and one of them helped soccer teams back then. We don't know if it was Kyron's, but we kind of, okay.
He was definitely involved in soccer himself.
And he was on drugs at the time.
Yes, there was a lot of drug use at the time. Like,
a lot.
Looking through these people's, you could see a lot of drug use.
Also, a family member went to Skyline. So these people being neighbors with Kyron, of course you would think, yeah, they knew him. Could this have been related to the little cult symbol or whatever it was? Have these people been looked into? Those, oh my gosh, I will start posting those also in the group, but I could talk about them all day because they're just really weird, really out of here. I feel like there was only one normal one, but I hope they were looked at, because from what Harry said,
I'm gonna go with the belief, because I do want to believe that the police didn't have complete tunnel vision, and I want to go with that they've looked at all these people. And I'm going to say this, please, if the detectives hadn't looked at this, I pray to God that the new detectives have looked at it or are looking at it.
Yeah, that's one that I think that we do need to turn in. We never put it together, but we do need to do that, I think.
Yes, we and we definitely do, and we need to get that to him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So nervous guy at the gas station. Do you remember anything about him?
I'm not real up to speed with him. That was a
Or-
blow that I heard.
he was at the 7-Eleven on Highway 30,
I
was
believe
it?
so.
And he was pacing back and forth, and he was acting really weird. A pregnant lady asked him, "Where's the
Oh, that's
nearest
right.
school?"
It was the woman that was working behind the counter. She did happen to be pregnant. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And why are you giving a guy with weird behavior directions to the nearest school? I don't know, but it was Skyline. So we don't know the name of the guy. And that's another person. I
Right.
mean, I wonder if they even knew what his car looked like. I mean, I don't know.
Right. How much did they investigate that? And once again, like I said, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that everything that we've talked about here today has been looked at, but what if it hasn't? And what if nobody's talking about this? What if it was 12 years ago? What if nobody's hearing this?
Mm-hmm.
Because in other groups and other places, you can't say anything but two people did it.
Tammy said, I've heard that. Wait. At one point, they said Terry went back to the truck because they forgot something, got it, and went back in. Maybe that's what the witness saw.
Absolutely could be. Absolutely, Tammy.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. I heard it was like the book bag or something. There's an article. We'll look it up. I've heard that, but is that a fact? Are you talking about the gas station guy?
Uh, I'm pretty sure that there was that tip turned in, but I can't say
There
100%.
was, because it's an article and a lady is explaining, like, she was telling the media about it, but I don't know if, I mean, I would think if it was in the media that she turned that tip in, right? Like,
Yes.
why would you speak to the media about it, but not the police? Okay. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Oh, homeless guy. Ah, where did you go? She left me. You guys, I can't do this by myself. Okay, so there was a homeless guy, June 9th. Okay, I never saw her speak in the media, but she, oh yeah, I posted the link on the group. I'll post it again. I ended up finding it because I looked at it right after our last video. But have you heard the homeless guy, June 9th? Thank you, TJ. Um, the homeless guy on June 9th, he got caught trying to kidnap a little boy at a school that was close to Skyline. Thank God he got caught. But his background, oh my God, it's like every year it's another charge. I don't know why they keep letting this guy out. Um, hold on, she's coming back. You left me, Garnett. You
I
left
did
me.
not lose you.
No, I was lost all by myself. I was talking about the homeless guy and how June 9th he tried to kidnap a little boy at a school near Skyline. Um, he has a huge background that goes way, 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 way back. Um, a lot of it is having to do with kidnapping, like sexual assault, like for little kids or whatever. Um, failure to appear. So I definitely feel like they should look at that guy as well. Did you ever hear about him? I know we talked about him.
I know we've talked about him too. 12 years of stuff and it all gets jumbled up here, you know. Um, Tomorrow I'm going to be 51, so I'm allowed to have some jumbled memories, guys.
It's my sister's birthday. More like, wait, what time is it? Oh, in 3 minutes. Yay! Party, party. Oh
So,
my
yeah.
God. I know you're so excited. You're not old.
I told you after 21 there are no good birthdays anymore.
But hey, you get to go hang out with your mom this weekend.
Yes, I do, and I'm going to bring home some stuff so we can dig into Orion's case. We're really going to, there's going to be some disturbing stuff that I would say that anybody that's in that group, if if child abuse or any kind of, if that's triggering to you, you're going to really want to watch what posts you open, because I do want to get all of that out there. I want to start getting our letters in to stop them from getting out. Like I said, next year they'll be in there 8 years, so they'll be eligible for parole. And I'm not
That is such
I'm not
bullshit.
comfortable with that. I don't like 20 years. I didn't have Orion for 20 years, so I don't feel that they should get out in 20 years. But
I don't
that
get that. I don't understand. I get so emotional speaking about Orion's case. I don't know. I mean, I know I'm gonna be crying with you when you're going over all this stuff.
we're going to go over that in private so that I can get my tears out before we do anything public with it. Like I
Yeah.
said, I've got an entire huge box full. So we are definitely going to be updating Orion's page. And
Look, I'm trying to hold back tears already. I don't know why. I get every time I think about. I think it's because he was so little, and I just think about everything like you went through too, and you've gone through so much, and you're still standing, you're still strong, and I'm like, you're just, I don't know, you're amazing because I don't know how I would have dealt with.
I don't know, and I've had other people say similar stuff, and I don't know why any of this makes me seem strong, because it has all worn holes in my heart that will never be filled.
Well,
And
you
there,
hold it very, or you hide it very well. But I do hear when me and you are speaking personally, I do hear the pain in your voice when you speak about it. But you always look at, like, how do I say it? You always look at not, I don't know. Like, you said stuff to me before that is like why you have to, stay strong, and why you have to.
because I'm his only voice now.
Exactly.
He didn't get to be here long enough, and I definitely, and everybody says, well, how are you so strong? Well, my thing is you're only this strong when that's your only choice.
Yeah.
And either I could curl up in a ball and give up and just
Oh yeah,
let
that's
the
what you told
depression
me.
take over,
Yeah.
or I can fight, and I can, that's sort of how I end up wanting to help find Kyron is because,
Mm-hmm.
I know where Orion is. I couldn't imagine not one day of not knowing where he was.
Exactly.
So, and I try to live every day making Orion proud, making my son proud.
They're
These
so proud of you right now. I know they're looking down. So proud. So proud because you are the most positive no matter what situation happens. Like you're still positive. You still
because
don't.
you either let the hate eat you or you can overcome the hate. And I refuse to live in a world where the hate wins.
Happy birthday! Sorry, I had to interrupt
Thank
you to
you.
say
You're
that.
my first.
Happy birthday to you. Oh my god. I'm gonna get you a cake tomorrow and I'm gonna call you and sing it.
Oh, girl. I don't know. I do feel that everybody needs to open your eyes. Talk about this case. Talk about Kyron. Um, and for people that are right there in the center of this, think about what you were doing that day. Think about what you saw. Think about what was
Mhm.
on the news. Don't give up. I can't let it go that he's just gone.
Um, just like Terry has said, and Kane, he is still here. Without any proof, they will never think anything different. That he is still alive. You guys, he could be your neighbor. He could be somebody you know could have him. You just never freaking know. He's never been found.
Dungard.
Huh?
Casey Dungard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it, it happens, guys. It happens. So let's not give up.
And you know, we can't do a lot, guys. We don't have um permission to somebody asked why don't we help for searchers, raise money. We don't have that. Like we can't just start a GoFundMe and say, oh, search money for Kyron Horman. Like we'll get stopped because that will be asking for like thousands and thousands and thousands. So we try to do little things that we can do just to keep his name alive. And so we would really appreciate it if you guys started started just interacting and sharing and helping us do these things because it does matter. Hey.
We're almost done with your mommy.
They're just waiting for me to go help them clean the room.
I know.
TJ said, I've seen it all, ladies. Like I told Lex, I'm 9 credits away from a law degree. And I was a correction officer in the Navy at the Naval Brig. So if you ever need my help, reach out. Thank you. And Garnett, she said, Garnett, happy birthday.
Thank you, Tammy. Your
Yeah,
support is always so welcome.
I was about to say
so
that.
glad that you help us.
And I suck at reaching out, TJ, and
Ooh, hold
huh?
on a minute. Tammy, TJ, I just want to thank you for that beautiful video.
I
For the prayer
know.
for Kyron. That is so exciting, and we're going to be better at it this time. So
We're gonna have to do the Zoom meeting.
yes.
I think that's our best bet. But yeah, Tammy, I want to apologize because she'll message me with all this stuff, but since I have two messengers, yeah, I get confused now. I'm like trying to go back and forth. But Tammy, I really suck at getting back to you, but you are amazing in all your support and everything that you do. You're like one of the only people, one of the very few that actually interact and try to help. And we know you've worked hard for 12 years trying to figure out where Kyron is. So we know where your heart is, and we really appreciate every single thing that you do. She said, Garnett, I think you are a strong woman, and Orion would be proud.
Aw, thank you so much.
Yes, definitely.
And we have some of the best followers. Like, absolutely, I can't thank. Like, there are some that are out there for us and just want to help us get this out here. So, as much as we're trying to separate the hate from Kyron's page, because we want Kyron's page to be Kyron, I just want to say thank you to everybody that helps us and that knows we are doing this because that's where our hearts are. There's no.
If it wasn't, we would not be doing this. We would not be making videos. I would not be going live 50 million times reminding you guys, hey, pray for Kyron. Hey, help us with this. Hey, like, we would not be doing anything that we do if, we wouldn't interact. We wouldn't be researching into any of these people. She said, prayers for Orion and Kyron. I've been spending a lot of hours making B. Wait, making B? Maybe videos?
I don't know.
She did say she had more videos. One for his birthday. Oh, flyers. I've got some great ones.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, girl, send them over.
All right, guys. I do think that we should probably wrap this up. I'm going to have my husband coming home soon, and, it's my birthday, so.
Ooh. What that means.
Well, maybe I'll just get some cuddles on the couch before we go to bed because he's been at work all night. And, I took the day off.
Well, you were allowed to, and I'm glad that you called out. I think you will love them. Oh, where did she go? She left me again. Yeah, TJ, send them. Oh, she came back.
It's one button that I push on my phone.
You do not stop leaving me.
I know. I'm terrible.
TJ said, you're a naughty girl.
All right, honey, I am getting off here. Thank you all for the support, and remember, turn those tips in. Lita couldn't join us tonight, and I don't have the number on hand. But
yeah, TJ, do you have it? Could you write it in the comments, the tip number, the tip line number? And also, yeah, you guys, we have a group on Facebook. It's Kyron Horman, Old, New, and Ignored Tips. If you want to join us, we're doing a raffle at 2,500. I want to keep reminding people. So the more people you invite, the more you interact, you could be entered in a raffle and win a gift card. That's just to motivate people.
That has absolutely nothing to do with any of the money that we raise. That's the three admin come together, and we offer that just because we want to see our group grow. That's all that is.
We did this before the Amazon and before the school supplies. Like, we did this at 1,500, and my son picked out a name in a bowl, and that's coming from us. And same as the Amazon. Not Amazon. Same as the GoFundMe. Lita has put $40 in there. Paula put $40 in there. Our own admin has put half the money that we made in there. So, you guys, we're not doing anything. We're not doing anything crazy, especially for school supplies.
This is all stuff just to help a couple kids have a good start to the school year. All in Kyron.
People say that can't see my last Kyron video saying not available. I'm seeing it, but I think that's because I'm friends. Okay, go on the video that's on your page and put it public. It's probably on friends only, so only your friends can see it. Because I know I can see it. Garnett, can you see it?
I can see it.
Can you hear it, the video?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, are you friends with TJ?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to look.
Yeah,
It played
because...
fine for me.
Huh?
I said it played fine for me.
Oh, yeah, because some people are... I did that. It should work then. I know I can see it. Let me share it and see
Right,
if
because
people...
maybe if you share it, it'll be different. I don't know. All right, ladies,
Okay.
I am getting off here.
All right,
It's
well, I
always
love
nice to
you.
talk to you and discuss our thoughts on this case. And we're gonna do some other cases, correct, Lexi?
Oh, yeah, we have plenty in store. We're gonna do Orion's next. Um, I really want to do Orion's. And I know you do too. So I think that's gonna be our next case. You guys, we have a lot of stuff that we're gonna do. Please, please keep sharing our videos. Share them on pages, on groups. Let's get us more subscribers. We're trying to make it big. We're trying to be up there with Stephanie Harlow, you guys. Please do. Okay, yeah, I'll do that when we get off.
Good night.
Good night. Love ya.
Love ya.
I'm sending you a message. Please respond. All right, girl. Bye, you guys. Everybody have a great night. Thank you for joining. We really appreciate it. And I will look at my messages right now. Bye, you guys.